Band Space. AT Dub coming at you. Today we're going to learn about the parts and pieces of the stand and the drum and learn how to put it together correctly. This is a snare drum stand. Yours may look slightly different, but all the parts are similar. So let's get started on how to put this thing together. So these are the parts of the stand. The base, the height adjustment, the basket adjustment, and the level mechanism. The first step for setting up, we're going to loosen the base tension, extend the legs, making sure we don't go too far or not enough, kind of in between. And the reason we want to do that is to make sure that the drum is properly secure on the ground. Of course, it's always better to have it too wide than too narrow so the drum doesn't tip over. After you've got it adjusted correctly, you want to tighten the base mechanism. Next, we're simply going to lower the basket to be ready to hold the snare drum. Before you put the drum in place, make sure the tilt mechanism is secure, otherwise the drum could fall to the ground. Once we have the stand set up, we want to make sure the legs are in the proper location for our playing. 2 legs in the back where you're going to stand, 1 leg in the front. Next, we're going to talk about the parts of the snare drum. First, the shell. The shell can be made of wood or metal. This particular drum is made of wood. Next, we're going to talk about the drum heads. This is the batter side head, or the head that you strike to make a sound. This head is called the resonant head, or the head that goes on the bottom and the head we do not strike. The heads are connected to the shell by several things. The rim on each side, the lugs, and the lug casings. The lugs go through the rim into the lug casing. This allows us to create tension on each head to raise or lower the sound of the drum. A snare drum has snares across the bottom to create that buzzing sound you hear on a snare drum. This is the snare strainer. There's one on each side of the drum. One has a fixed side and one has a lever where you can raise or lower the snares, or turn them on or turn them off. On gives the snare buzzing sound, and off removes the snare or buzzing sound. Before we put the drum on the stand, we want to make sure the basket mechanism is loosened all the way up so that the drum can fit inside of the basket. Next, we're ready to put the drum on the stand. Make sure that the strainer is toward you. Place the drum in the strainer, making sure that the basket is not touching the bottom head. Once in place, make sure the strainer is right in front of you. Then we're going to tighten the basket mechanism to secure the drum on the stand. Once the drum is secure in the basket, if you notice it's not flat, use the tilting mechanism to flatten it. You always want to make sure the drum is flat in playing position. Once the drum is flat, you want to make sure it's at the right height. You always want the drum to be slightly below your belt line. Use the height mechanism to raise or lower the height of the snare drum. Once the drum's in place, make sure you tighten all of the mechanisms. Don't over tighten, as this can cause damage to the stand. Thanks for joining us today. In the next video, we're going to learn how to hold the sticks properly. See you later, drum peeps. AT Dub, out.